What's going on, guys? Welcome to the Yagan and Packing channel. Today I'm doing a video. It's going to be a little bit different, a little bit more serious. I'd like to talk about how I quit smoking. And this isn't a story where I want praise and attaboy, good job, you did it in the comments. This is a video that I want to write in hopes that it can help some people out on the internet. You know, if it helps you quit smoking, that's the main goal. I have two buddies that are trying to quit right now, so this video is kind of for them. But you know, if there's anyone else that's trying to quit something in their life or quit smoking or can take anything away from this video, this is for you guys too. So I'm gonna build a fire really quick because it's really cold. The rain's holding off for now, so hopefully we'll be able to get this done. And yeah, I'm just gonna build a fire and then we'll get to talking. So what's up, guys? Like I said before, this video is for two of my friends that are trying to quit smoking. And I quit, geez, it's over 2 years now, coming up on 3 this February. And it's not easy, it's not an easy thing to do. And I wanted to share how I did it and what I did, what worked for me, what didn't work for me, in hopes that it'll help some people. Like I said, I'm not looking for, please don't leave comments like, oh, good accomplishment, good job, you did it. That's not what I'm looking for. I'm looking for people to, I'm looking for people that want help. If you stumble across this video, whew, smoke in my face. If you stumble across this video because you were looking for help, well, maybe you came to the right place and maybe I'll be able to give you a little bit of tips. So, smoking. I picked it up as a bad habit to try and look cool. I guess. Try and fit in. Try to make some friends. Really stupid when I was like 18. I smoked for 4 years. I smoked about a pack a day. It was a lot of money. A lot of smoke going in your lungs. And I smoke free now. So what did I do? So there's a few pointers. Basically in this video I want to share my story, and there's a few pointers that I'm going to tie in along the way in hopes that it helps you. This is unscripted, so hopefully I don't seem like I'm rambling too much. If I do, I'll try and edit it out, I guess. I wish there's a flat, stable surface to put my drink down. So, it took me, first off, it took me about 2 years to actually quit. From the day I decided, like, this is stupid and I want to stop, to me actually not doing it anymore was about 2 years. So, I guess the first thing is never quit. The first thing is never quit trying to quit. Like, seriously, keep trying, eventually you'll succeed. That sounds crazy, but it's true. Even if it's 2 years, just don't give up hope on yourself. Don't admit defeat, and just admit and accept the fact that you're going to smoke for the rest of your life. You don't have to, and you know, over time you'll get there. You'll run out of excuses to make it, to quit. Yeah, anyways, rambling. Okay, so I tried a bunch of different things when I quit. I tried cutting back on my tobacco input. I tried cutting back on my smoking, so I tried like smoking less per day, and I tried smoking a vape. I had a vaporizer for a while, or I had a vape for a while. That didn't really help either. You know, it got me down to maybe 3 cigarettes a day, and I was vaping a lot, but you're replacing the habit with another habit, and that wasn't helpful for me. And I've tried cold turkey before, but usually it lasted like 2-3 days. Like I'd go up to my cottage, place like this, and I stopped smoking for 2-3 days, but as soon as the weekend's over and you're driving back, it's like, oh, pull into a gas station, gotta get gas, oh, there's some cigarettes, let's get some. And, you know, you're defeated. You feel defeated, I guess. So what did I have to do to quit smoking? Well, so my story is on February 9th of 2014, I got really sick. I don't know what it was. I was a heavy drinker at the time too, so that probably didn't help anything. But I was so sick that I couldn't smoke cigarettes. I could barely get out of bed. And I could barely, you know, I'd get out of bed and I went to try and smoke a cigarette, and like 2-3 puffs in and I threw up all over. Wasn't pretty. I did that about 2 or 3 times before, just giving up and be like, you know what, I'm just not going to smoke right now. So a day later, I get better, and I go and I smoke. I think it was better enough to get out of bed, let's say, and get in my car and drive to the store. I drove to the Max Milk and I bought a pack of Belmonts, and I smoked about 6 of them throughout that day. And so it had been a good like 24 to 36 hours where I didn't smoke at all. I just couldn't. And then when I went to smoke these 6 cigarettes on the second, like as soon as I was able to smoke without throwing up again, my lungs hurt and my throat hurt, like big time, like burning sensation, almost like when you first started smoking. And I guess you know, your body heals really quickly once you stop over said period of time, right? Like over, you know, even 24 hours, there's a big enough difference that it hurts when you start smoking again. So, you know, I decided there and then that if I was going to quit, this was the best shot at doing it. And I'd already tried like millions of times. So I broke all 19 cigarettes, snap, 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 and I threw them into my garbage in my room, green garbage bin. And that's exactly the moment that I quit, February 11th, 2014. I think it was 2015. February 11th, 2015. Yeah, February 11th, 2015 is when I quit. That's when I was done. And it's not like, oh, that's it, I'm done. There was a huge there's a huge struggle to get through the next like week, month, and even year, believe it or not. So when I quit smoking, I had to avoid doing things I was doing. So one of the things I realized is I wasn't quitting. You're not quitting a habit, you're quitting a lifestyle, and you gotta look at it from that perspective, or I had to anyways. I had to look at it, I was quitting a lifestyle. So my lifestyle was almost built around smoking because I smoked so much. Every 40 minutes on a break, I'd go smoke. Whenever I got in my truck, the first thing I did was start it up, crack the window, and light a smoke. Whenever I woke up in the morning, first thing I did was get out of bed, go out front, have a smoke. You know, before bed, in between, I used to play a game called Dota, and in between Dota games, which are about an hour long, I'd smoke. So I had to be able to quit the habit by quitting when I fell into like a routine of when I normally smoked, and I had to stop those habits. So when I'd wake up in the morning, I had to not have a cigarette, you know, distract yourself. So I shower first and then go make some food. Instead of driving, I was fortunate that I still lived with my mom at the time, so when I was driving somewhere, I would take my mom's car. You know, there's no way in hell I'm smoking in her car, right? So that got rid of the habit. I had to drive a few times, and after a week I was able to drive my truck again without, you know, getting in and feeling I need a cigarette right away. And after 6 days, it wasn't that I'm quitting smoking. You know, you're not quitting smoking after 6 days. You know, you've quit. The moment you made that decision, you quit. And when you tell yourself that I have quit smoking, not I'm going to quit, when you're in the process of quitting. Quitting is a definitive moment. You quit, that's it. You're done. You make the decision and you stick to it and you follow through with it. And then how did I avoid the cravings? Okay, well, I was fortunate enough that I actually just got laid off. So I wasn't around other smokers, so that kind of helped. I kind of like loafed around my house for about a week before I actually went outside and hung out with friends and things like that. Whenever I was driving by a gas station, I'd fallen victim in the past to like, as soon as you see a gas station, you feel like, oh, I could totally go buy cigarettes, but I shouldn't, but I can. And you have a huge mental battle as you're going basically through the intersection where you can turn left or turn right to go get the smokes, right? But what I did was I justified not buying them because who wants $10? Comment below if you want $10. Everyone wants $10, right? Free $10, no big deal. I love $10. I love free. It's all great, right? So it would be a literal waste of $10. I would be giving away $10 if I went and bought a new pack of cigarettes because I had already broken 19. And if I really wanted to smoke that bad, I could just go back to my house. I could like take the tobacco out of one of the cigarettes, roll it up, go out front and smoke it. You know what I mean? I didn't need to go buy a new pack. I didn't do that, but I'm saying like in my head, that's how I justified not buying it. It'd be a waste of money if I did it. Even further down the road, there were habits that I didn't even think were possible that I needed to kick in order to stop smoking. And some of them you wouldn't even believe, some of them you wouldn't think would actually happen, but they did. So, going out to my friend's cottage, May 24th, it's a weekend we've done the past 7 years in a row, always gone fishing, always had a great time. And as soon as I got to his cottage, one of the first things I wanted to do was have a cigarette. I hadn't smoked in 4 months, but it was a habit. My body, my mind, subconsciously knew, or it was programmed, let's say, to roll up, and all of a sudden, boom, where's my cigarette? Like, let's go. Corey Trevor smokes, let's go. So, that was something that I had to fight. And of course it's way easier, but it's still crazy to think about. And then it would have been 11 months later, if you can believe, 11 months later, I went ice shacking. Wow. I went ice fishing with my buddy Nick, Stillwater Outdoors. We went out to his ice shack, and he used to let me smoke in his ice shack. So I would literally get in there, and then, you light the fire, drop lines, light a cigarette. That was the routine. Over the past 4 years, that was my routine. So you get in there, drop lines, and then all of a sudden my brain went to cigarettes. I actually reached in my pocket to look for cigarettes. 11 months after I had quit. So these things are reoccurring, and you just have to fight them. The same way you fight, that first cigarette that you want like 4 hours after you've decided that you have quit. Not are quitting, have quit, right? It gets easier. I guarantee you it gets easier. So another thing is when I was trying to quit smoking for a few, I said 2 years. It was about 2 years that I was trying to quit smoking. And there were a few times where I made it 6-8 weeks. Defeated smoking, stopped smoking. And, 6 weeks, 8 weeks, I'm out, playing pool with the boys, having a few drinks, because I'm not driving, and most of them smoke. So someone offers me a smoke. Okay, no problem, I'll have one. I go out, I have like one cigarette while I'm kind of drunk, no big deal. Well, you go and play pool with them a week later, and then you have 3, 4. And then all of a sudden you might go out like on Wednesday night just to chill with one of them, and he offers you a cigarette, then you have it. All of a sudden you're smoking 2 days out of the week. Like without noticing, this happens over time. Or it happened to me anyways. And all of a sudden it's like, okay, well, I can go buy a pack because I'll just have self-control. I'll just smoke one a day. I mean, that's okay, right? That's reasonable. That's less than I smoked last week, and I only smoked 2 days, but I smoked, say, 7 or 8. So one a day is not a big deal. You go buy that pack, you have one in the morning. And then you're like, maybe I'll have one in the evening. All of a sudden you're smoking 2, all of a sudden you're smoking 3. All of a sudden you're just back to your regular routine before you know it. So when you quit for good. I don't care if you're drunk, I don't care if you're high, I don't care if you're really stressed out. There's other ways to deal with these things, and you gotta keep in mind, no matter what, that you have quit smoking. That's it, you're done. Done doesn't mean I'm gonna go back in 8 weeks, I'm gonna go back in 2 weeks, I'm gonna have one when I'm drinking only. Like, it means you're done. Some people have the self-control. I don't. I had to quit on site. That's it. I'm done. Over. Haven't had a cigarette since. And I still have the cravings. That's the weird part. Is You know, it's 3 years later, and I went through, even 2 years later, you know, I can be drinking out at a bar or at a friend's house, and I'm still with the same friends I was 2 years ago, and I still have that thought of like, oh, I see him having a cigarette, you know, I'll go out and chill with them and hang out and talk, just, you know, 'cause it's kind of nice to be social. And then I have the thought of, oh, I could have a cigarette. It wouldn't hurt me just to have one. Even 2 years later, it's still in my mind. It still doesn't go away. And you got to be able to fight it. But it's so easy, you know. Once you're 2 years in, you're, oh no, I can't. Like you build up the willpower. And then one of the great things is once you quit smoking, you feel like you can do anything. You know what I mean? So, you know, think of something really hard in your life that you can't do. You can't save money. You can't pay your bills. You can't. I don't know. You feel like you can't study. Just remember, you know, quitting smoking. That's one of the hardest things to do, hands down. And if you can quit smoking, you know, you can basically do anything you set your mind to. It takes a lot of willpower to do it, and once you do, you know, the sky is yours. There's no limits. It's a really cool feeling, and I guess you'll just have to take my word for it until you do it. And the last thing I want to say is, if you can quit for a day, and you have that urge to have a cigarette, you know, 12 hours, 14 hours, 20 hours in, and you feel like, oh, I need a cigarette, and you're craving it, and you just distract yourself, right? Distract yourself. Put a TV show on, call your wife, call your boyfriend, call your girlfriend, call your son, fucking talk to your dog. I don't really care. Just do something to distract yourself, right? And get your mind off of that thought process of, I need a cigarette. Because when you get stuck, you get stuck. I get it. Yeah, I've been there. And it takes the exact same amount of willpower to quit for the one day as it does to quit for the rest of your life. So if you can stop, if you can, like, not, you know, you're 4 hours in and you don't want a cigarette, you know, I'm gonna wait till noon to have a cigarette, right? If you can wait till noon to have a cigarette, you can quit for the rest of your life. You can do it. Like, it takes the exact same amount of willpower. You just have to, like, be able to summon that willpower for longer periods of time when you're in a time of weakness. But it doesn't take any more than that. If you've ever thought, you know, I'm gonna cut from like 12 cigarettes down to 8, right? So you have one at 8 o'clock, you have one at 10 o'clock, you have one at noon, and you skip your 10 o'clock one. The willpower that it took to skip that 10 o'clock one is enough that you can skip the rest of them for the rest of your life. It can be done. Believe me, you can do it. For sure you can do it. So, something to think about, guys. So, just to reiterate the points that I'm trying to bring across to help you, is that you have to remember you're quitting a lifestyle. You're not quitting a habit. Don't, like, I mean, you could replace the habit with like eating chips or vaping, but it's better just to quit the lifestyle. You'll learn and you'll grow as a person a lot more if you do. Just think of it as that lifestyle is done. You're not gonna wander in, you know, to your house smelling like a cigarette because you just got out of your car. Your car's not gonna smell like an ashtray anymore. Your house is, you know what I mean? If you have kids or a wife, you're not gonna, like, they're not gonna be inhaling secondhand smoke. It's just not gonna happen anymore because you have quit that lifestyle, right? So it's just, think of it as quitting a lifestyle, not quitting a habit. Don't exchange it for something. Don't trade it for something. Don't take up something new. Sure, it could help, but it's best to just think of you quitting a lifestyle and go through all those routines where you normally do something and then have a cigarette after to reward yourself or what have you. Once you do it once, you can do it for the rest of your life. Remember that if you have the willpower to stop for 4 hours, you have the willpower to stop for the rest of your life. And most importantly, to sum up this video, is never quit trying to quit. Don't give up on yourself. Eventually you'll get there. Keep it in the back of your head. Don't listen to other people. If people are going to be negative, then you don't need to talk to them or about this stuff. You don't need to talk to them about quitting smoking. Yeah, just never give up on yourself, and eventually you do it. I know you will. I did it, and if I can do it, anyone can do it. It's true. So, like I said, I don't want good job, Sid, attaboy, comments below. Like, if you want to leave one, that's cool, I get it, but this video is to help my two friends who are currently, you know, in the process. One is actually doing pretty good. It's been about a week and a half, I think, and the other one, he's tried a few times and he's made it about 24 hours before caving, and that's okay. It's honestly okay. But this video is for people like that. If you can take anything away from this, that's awesome. If you have a story to share it in the comments below. Like, let other people know of your successes. Let other people know of your triumphs, your struggles, whatever it is, like a stuffed animal that you have to sleep with at night because he protects you from the cancer monster. You know, literally anything. Like, you know, leave it below. It'd be great if there could be like almost a discussion board below where people talk and share their experiences. And if you want to ask me a question or leave me a comment, that's great. I check my YouTube account about 2 or 3 times a day, so you know, I definitely should get back to you within 24 hours unless I don't have cell phone service. So if you have a question to ask, you know, feel free to leave it down below, and I'll try and help you out as best I can. That's kind of my 2 cents, guys. It's a bit of a different video. I don't think I'll be doing a bunch like this, but this is a video I've wanted to do for a while. I wanted to share my experiences with anyone and everyone that's interested in learning and you know, who might be able to benefit from them. You know, I like to be able to help someone. If this video can help one person, then it'll be entirely worth it to make it. And if not, well, now you guys know how I quit smoking and how it's still a struggle even 4 years later, 3 years later, whatever. It's been so long, I don't remember. But yeah, thanks for watching if you made it this far, guys. I really do appreciate it. I got a lot of camping videos coming up. Muskie seasons, we're midway through muskie season, so might get out a few more times, hopefully get another 1 or 2. And then we're into ice fishing, and I do post a lot about my triathlon and my training. Not a lot, but I do post some of that stuff on my channel, so I could be doing some like indoor training videos. I'm not sure where that's going. I'm just enjoying the ride, so yeah. Thanks for watching, guys. We'll see you next time on the Yakin and Pack It channel.